couple minutes early. See what's going on here. I'm going to check and see if any of our friends are live. So, sorry. I don't normally text as I, hey, Laradex, how you? Be there 1 second. There we go. So, by the way, I don't know if you saw, if anyone saw, I mentioned before, I shared on my community page, my friend Elise, who is the Empress of the New Earth, has her channel up and running and is putting out content. So guys, definitely check her out. And if you're looking to expand your channel or gain subscribers, go subscribe to her and she will, I'm sure, return the favor, as well as support you guys. That's what she's all about. I think the important thing is when you set that intent of being of service, it's just that. You don't do it with any hope or attachment to the results that follow. This is the clear message from the Bhagavad Gita to you have the rights to your actions, but not to the fruition of your actions. And that's actually taught in basically all spiritual traditions, that you selfless service. And again, in the Bhagavad Gita, they literally tell you, you do the work and you surrender the results to God. So there's not, there's no lines drawn. It doesn't say, do the work for this and hold on to your results. Meaning, it's not different for YouTube. You want to expand your presence on YouTube? Lots of good ways. Lots of ways that I don't even know anything about. But here's what I do know about. Have a positive impact. What kind of content are you putting out? You could easily do clickbait or shock videos or things along those lines, and you'll probably get some viewers and some subscribers. But at what expense? And are you going to be personally happy? Does it reflect you? Does it reflect who you are? My channel, for better or for worse, maybe for the worse, reflects me, which is what I want. So I don't know if I could get more subscribers, more views, more whatever, by putting aside the authenticity and just going for more of the exciting content, whatever that might be. Maybe. But My all I want is to share the stuff that I love: nature, meditation, yoga, spirituality through whatever it is, however it's expressed, however you like to express it. I'm not picky. It doesn't have to be how I want to express it. This is why there's an open door policy. Um, the only thing that I avoid, I just don't give a whole lot of attention to, um, any any spirituality that has a negative impact towards others, um, has a negative impact towards yourself. So we won't really participate in those types of discussions. And I guess we know it when we see it. Um, so here's what it is. Find out what you want. Find out what you want to present. Find out what your message is. Put your authentic self out there. This is what my friend Elise is doing. This is what our friend Elise is doing. Um, and then put that content out, reflecting that. And then surrender the results to God, to the universe, to whatever. And see what happens. One thing I know for certain is that just by being of service, you're going to be happier. If you're always concerned about the results of what's my subscriber count, what's my watch hours, and trust me, I like having subscribers and I'm pushing for those watch hours. But I can only do what I can do each and every moment. And that's where you surrender. There is a lot of power in surrendering. Much more so than grasping, clinging to attachments, clinging to wants or the needs of the ego. Tend to the spirit and see what happens. Goldie says, hi there, lovely people. Hi, Goldie, how are you? I'm talking about YouTube content, channels, growing your channel, my own opinion for whatever it's worth on what I think is the best way of growing your channel. Learn from doing things the wrong way sometimes. Maybe not in regards to what I'm talking about, though. That I honestly think the best way of growing your channel is. Goldie says, I'm wondering if this is a wise choice regarding Laradox. You're not alone in your wondering. I decided to take a chance. He was, he seemed sincere. He seemed more sincere than insistent. I guess I'll find out. The rule was, be kind. Be kind to others here. Goldie says, well, good luck with that. Please take mine away. I'm sorry to hear that. I honestly, I mean, you know my feelings. I don't want to, but I respect you too much to say no. If it doesn't work out with Laradox, I will definitely remove it again. And if it keeps you with it, then I will I'll take it now, because absolutely nothing at all against Laradox, but you're a vital part of my community, not because you have a wrench, but because you're you. And you're somebody that I want to be perfectly happy and feel safe and secure here. That's the utmost importance for me. And if anything violates that, if anything feels like it puts you in a place where you feel like you can't relax, then I'll fix it, and I'll fix it immediately. So you'll just let me know, and I'll explain it that, hey, my priorities are to the ones that come here and contribute calmly and peacefully and have a good time and laugh and share. Um, so just let me know um, in which direction you want to go. Reaper says, can I visit your house? Yes. And you don't even need to bring a housewarming gift. I mean, it would be nice. It's customary. Um, but, you know, you don't have to, is what I'm saying. Just because it's customary, just because it'd be a really nice thing to do, just because I'm sort of expecting one, doesn't mean you absolutely have to bring one. Our friend Squirrel Sniper is here. Greetings again, Eric. Reaper says hi to Goldie. So let me know if you'll consider keeping the wrench, and I'll make the change now for our friend Laradox. And I know it's not personal for you, but it is. It's a matter of you're feeling comfortable. Reaper says that he's from South Africa. Hey, I didn't know that. That's awesome. Goldie says, don't take his away until he betrayed your trust. Goldie says that she'll be here without a wrench. It I know you will. I know you're a friend. It just doesn't sit well with me that it feels like I'm demoting you, and I don't know why. I just you're the first person that I ever gave it to. You're the community. Goldie says, don't take it away yet because I'm the only one who can drop links. Okay. If at any time you feel uncomfortable, just say so, and whatever changes need to be made. Reaper says, Algeria. Hey, so Reaper, tell us about Algeria. They don't know much about it. Reaper says, my dream is to visit the U.S. I'm from Algeria. Well, if you visit the U.S., come to Baltimore, and you can definitely hang out in my basement, and you can definitely have breakfast here, and you can have dinner here. What was some of the other? Didn't we talk about coffee? If you could have a cup of coffee, oh, and I'll let you wear a pair of my glasses. I'm trying to think of all your great entrances that you made. Sure. Goldie says, hi there again, lovely people. So once again, with a few more people here, I want to mention that my beautiful friend Elise, who we know as the Empress of the New Earth, has she's had a channel, but now she is putting out more content. Now it's becoming a reflection of the things that she loves and her passion. She did an intro video. So definitely check her out, guys. She's going to be, my prediction, she's going to be big on YouTube because I sort of have a broad, I just put stuff out there. I do some burpees. I talk about meditation. I share some nature stuff. She has a very firm base on what she does. Reaper says, what's your Instagram? It's Eric McCarty, I believe. I'm going to double check for you. Yes, it's ERIC MCCARTY, all together, no spaces, nothing capitalized, all in lowercase. Come by and visit. Let me know if you make it in. I don't do a whole lot of stuff on Instagram any longer. I used to post pancake photos. I don't know why. Somehow it became a thing, and every Sunday, Mocha and I would go to brunch. No matter what happened in our lives, Mocha and I had Sunday brunch. From tragedies, from deaths in the family, to loss of our dogs, to our divorce, we stuck together and we had Sunday brunch, and I had pancakes almost every time. And somehow I just started posting a photo, and then people made comments on it, and I started posting more. So for several years, every Sunday, I had a pancake photo, pancake of the week. Maybe that would be my YouTube thing. Let's see, Goldie says, can you please repeat Elisa's channel? Yes, it is Empress of the New Earth. So maybe that's what my YouTube channel was missing. Pancake of the Week photos. Pancake of the Week videos. Runner Boy is here. Runner Boy, how are you? Tomorrow is live stream with Runner Boy. He's usually on when I'm getting out for my walk, 5 o'clock in the morning to me. Lewis, it is what it is. What up, Eric in chat? Lewis, how are you? How you feeling after two big days in a row? So yes, Empress of the New Earth. And I posted it on her intro video on my community channel. I was blanking out there for a second. Let's see. It is what it is. Says feeling good, Eric. I can do another. Doesn't surprise me at all. Runner Boy says, good, no live tomorrow. I'm doing live for deadlifts later this week. Okay. I'll keep an eye out for it. Either way, I'll be there. Lewis says, how are you? I'm doing pretty well. I'm doing a mini little celebration. I've been letting people know, thanks to their help, thanks to every single one of you guys, I hit that 3,000 hour watch hour mark. So the process is in the works. I don't have any flags against me. I already have Google AdSense. So hopefully there won't be any holdups. Thank you, Goldie. Hey guys, this is Elisa's channel. She's putting out new content. She will 100% support each and every one of you guys. So if you go and you subscribe and you let her know, say, hey, you're here from the live stream, Eric's live stream, she'll recognize you, welcome you with open arms. Runner Boy has an epic short about oranges. All right, that means I'm going to be on it. I'm going to check. Let's see. Pardon me for a second, guys. Rosita, what a pretty name. Says hello. Rosita, how are you? Thank you for being here. And it is what it is. Says congratulations, Eric. Thank you. I got to say, honestly, I can't imagine that it would have been possible. In fact, I know it would have been impossible without you guys. I mean, you know, Lewis shows up and says, hey, here for support. And it's sincere and it helps. Plus, as I said, it's just great knowing that, you know, you guys are here and you have my back. So thanks. Runner Boy says, oh, cool. So you're applying now? I already did this morning, as soon as I saw it. And there are 5 days unaccounted. My watch hours are counted up to the 14th. So I'm at 3,039 with 5 days not counted. So I'm going to start closing that gap. Goldie says, please remember to tap the like button. Thank you for that. Says hi to Runner Boy and Lewis. And hi to Rosita. And again, what a really pretty name, Rosita. Odom is here. Odom, how are you? Hey, guys, it's picking time. It's the time of year to pick blueberries and garlic. What was the other thing that you were picking, Odom? Go check out the harvest from Odom's homestead. And check out Runner Boys. I got it up right now. I don't have the sound on. I'll watch it again later with the sound up. You gotta love, I love, anytime anyone takes something simple, oranges, and makes a video, does something creative, and expresses, you know, hey, I love oranges. Let's see. Odom says you'll probably get a few members. I don't know if I'm actually going to do the membership thing. I don't imagine, what can I offer anyone that I'm not offering now? And that doesn't seem fair. Some people might not be joiners. Some people might not want to. So, you know, whatever I have, I want to give away freely and openly to every single person. I don't like the thought of someone being exclusive here. But I don't know much about how that works. So I don't say no to anything, but it just doesn't feel organic to me. Let's see. Goldie says membership after the 4,000 mark. Okay. Goldie says I love blueberries. Me too. Every day. I have blueberries every day in the morning. And I thank each and every individual blueberry. Organic, of course. Hey, I have a, make sure I'm not falling behind, too far behind. I have a question for Odom. Do you do any, I don't remember if I saw any raised gardening, in the boxes and stuff that I see Kay do? And if you don't, um, why not? Odom says strawberries and onions. I had strawberries today too. I try to alternate. I'll have blueberries in the morning with my oatmeal, and I have strawberries in the evening or late afternoon. Strawberries are actually very good for the esophagus. My father had issues with his esophagus. I try to ward off things that affected my parents. Odom says that he's blessed. How are you? I'm doing great. Thanks. And we got Runner Boy's channel linked. Awesome. Thank you, Goldie. Runner Boy says members after 3K and live gifts. Odom says, I'm thinking about canceling my membership. I feel the same way. Goldie has a really good suggestion. Well, for the people interested, you can offer personalized yoga and meditation. Now that's a thought. That's a great way to teach meditation and breath work. And the philosophy, psychology of yoga. Thank you for that, Goldie. Goldie says I have a strict no membership policy. Yeah, I haven't done any memberships. Odom says that his blueberries are loaded this year. I saw that you were packing away the strawberries. Odom says he has a few raised beds made of wood for strawberry, cucumber, and potatoes. Goldie says, so I don't join any memberships. Yeah, I haven't. Not saying I wouldn't, and if I did, it would just be to support that person. Someone mentioned merchandise too, and I just can't see myself offering merchandise. If it did, it wouldn't be, I don't think it would be like channel merchandise. It might be like just generic yoga mats. I don't need to put my name on anything for sure. I have my names on the books that I've written, and that's it. Eric LaPointe is here. Says hello to Goldie, Squirrel Sniper, Odom, Reaper, Runner Boy, and Yogi and Lewis. How you doing, Eric? I like the fact that for people who want to pursue that avenue, YouTube has those opportunities. I mentioned before, my goals are just enough. And I like the thought of being able to help people in whatever way, which is going to be different. Whenever I think help, I definitely don't think advice, although I've given it advice here. I feel sort of a little uncomfortable with it. I'd rather just offer, a presence where people can talk about things that bother them. And sometimes that's enough. Any advice I have is, unless it's about meditation or breath work, or yoga or burpees, um, or the things that I really, really know, for certain about. Anything other than that is just an opinion, and it might be helpful, but it also might not be. And you just never know how it's going to play out. So I would hate to give advice and have it prove to be harmful for someone. Again, I'd rather just listen, offer my thoughts, but thoughts doesn't necessarily mean advice. Goldie says merchandise can be a hassle. Imagine the shipping all the way to Romania or Bangladesh. It would be twice the price of any product. Yeah, that's an excellent point. Um, and I generally avoid hassles, complications. So, what do you guys think is more important? Um, Doing live streams or, um, the more video content stuff? Because I'll be honest, I've really grown to like live streams quite a bit, however they turn out. Sometimes it's a real peaceful, meaningful conversation. Sometimes it's a little frantic and feels um, like a hectic energy. But all of it's good. All of it, all of it allows me to sort of examine: am I responding from ego? Am I responding from um, a sense of selflessness? So live streams are a valuable teaching tool for me. Odom says people can come back and watch more videos in live stream. Hey, that's a good point, actually. Because I don't think you earn a whole lot from YouTube Shorts. I've grown to really love YouTube Shorts as an art form. As I talked about with Eric Lapointe, as we talked together about it, just being able to offer that unique perspective of what you see that no one else in the entire world, no one else in the entire universe is able to see it from that perspective at that point in time. But you, presented through the lens of your camera. Because, I got to admit, watching a upper middle-aged, half-naked, bald yogi doing burpees is not going to draw in the viewers. I knew that. I knew that from day one. Goldie says people can come back and watch videos than live stream, and that live streams are more interactive. Me personally, I like them more. I do like the interaction. But, as Odom said, I guess you get the views that you get during the live stream, and then that's pretty much it. But hopefully, the channel grows to the extent that the viewers go up. This is why, I mentioned before, they often say, be careful what you wish for or what you pray for, because it just presents new challenges. Well, cope with it when it's time to cope with it. So I got Running Boys Oranges playing on a continuous loop right now. I know our friend Masha talks about live streams that they just, if I had to rely on live streams to get those watch hours, it would have taken quite some time, because you need what, 10 million live stream views in a 90-day period. Goldie offers awesome advice, just one day at a time, living today. Exactly. I didn't get to 3,000 watch hours by continuously worrying about 3,000 watch hours. I just put it out there. This is what I'm working on, and relaxed. And what I found is the more I relax, the easier things come to us. Goldie says, I was spoiled today by my daughter. She brought me an espresso machine. Wow, that's a gift. That's an awesome gift. That's an awesome gift to receive, and it's an awesome gift to give someone. Goldie says she has to get used to her spending big money on me. What did she get a promotion? What's going on in her life? Goldie says because it's usually the other way around. That's how it should be, though. Eventually, man, we all want our children to exceed our status. And we do that with a lot of love and a lot of sacrifice. And kids know that. So when they're in the position, to pay back, they almost always do with a lot of generosity and a lot of kindness. Goldie says she's finishing high school and heading to university. Awesome. She saved up for that. Wow. The more you tell us about your daughter, the more completely awesome she sounds. From the gifts that she gives, the fact that she saved up for a gift like that. When I was her age, I would have had that intent. I would have said, man, I'm going to really save up and buy something nice for my parents. And then I would see a book that I wanted and think, well, I'll start saving again. You know what I mean? Little things would eat away at it. For someone to have that commitment for that length of time, that's awesome. Eric Lapointe says, that was nice of her. She's being thankful and you deserve it. Agreed, 100%. Nicely said, Eric. Hey, what is she thinking about as a major, Goldie? Odom, I missed a comment by Odom. Sorry. Yes, do merchandise. You can design cups and shirts with yoga sayings or quotes would be awesome. That sounds pretty cool, actually. I got to admit about that it does. And with my stepdaughter being a wonderful artist, she could really do some great designs. And it would be a way of, I could actually have her do merchandise and then she could keep everything. You know, whatever earnings, she could keep it. Goldie says architecture. Wow. It's going to be interesting, architecture. Um, what this generation coming up, what they're going to design. Because, every generation, um, has their own unique perspective on how things should fit in. Goldie says, did you show Mocha the Dragon? I sent her the link, and I have not heard back. She's been out of town. She's in Atlanta, Georgia. And right now she's not super happy about being in Atlanta, Georgia, because things got complicated and she missed the flight. But you know what I'm going to do right now? I'm going to resend it to her because she's frustrated, annoyed. She is in a strange city. And something like that is the right thing that brings a whole lot of joy. So I'm going to do that now. Med Eric is here saying, hey, hey, hey. We have one more Eric in the house. Goldie says, yes, they do, but it's also the pressure of fitting in the expectations that the teachers have. That's true. But I think once they're done, then they have that opportunity to make their mark on the world. So, hey, speaking of Goldie's Dragon, Goldie's Daughter's Dragon, that was made and offered as a gift with an amazing box. Has everyone seen it? If you haven't, definitely go check it out. Goldie says hi there to Medic, and Medic says hi to Eric and Eric L. Goldie says hi there, Medic, and this is a wise decision, Eric McCarthy. Sarcastic is here. Sarcastic, how are you? I almost tried to sound that out, which wouldn't have come out anywhere near what it actually is. So, 1 second, guys. One second. There you go. I hope that brings her a little bit of, hey, Mocha, I just sent you a link. I was telling people that you were stuck in a city that you don't want to be stuck in. And sent you something. Goldie's daughter. It sent it to you before, but I think it slipped between the other things that we've sent back and forth with each other. It's an awesome video. Awesome gift. Mocha is in Atlanta. And there are definitely worse cities to be stuck in. I'm sure every country has a list of the worst cities to be stuck in. Mocha says, at least there are lots of vegan options here, which is great. And who would have thought 20 years ago that Atlanta would have vegan options? Goldie says, Atlanta, Georgia. Yep. Hey, Goldie, have you ever been to the United States before? And how about you, Medic? Have you ever been to the United States? Our friend Reaper is in Algeria, and he would love to visit the States. Well, Goldie, if you ever get the urge, opportunity, you got a place to stay. Medic says he worked in Arizona for 2 years. Well, as a medic, or was that earlier? Goldie says that her only flight was a round trip to Malta. Goldie says she has plenty of places to stay, all of the USA. That's pretty cool. Well, what I can offer here is we're about a half-hour drive, 20-minute half-hour drive to visit Washington, D.C., if you ever wanted to visit the Capitol. For all of the mess that it is politically, it is a beautiful city. It was actually built on a swamp, which somehow seems kind of fitting. And Baltimore. I'm about a 15-minute drive from Baltimore. I've always liked Baltimore. We're also a day trip away from Philadelphia, which is a pretty city. Not the friendliest. It's called the City of Brotherly Love, but maybe not so much. Goldie says she has family in Georgia. Well, Medic says, I worked as a medic for the Native American air ambulance based at Apache Junction, Mesa. Hey, that's awesome. Mocha and I spent a little bit of time visiting some of the Native American reservations in Arizona. I love Arizona. Beautiful state. Medic says this condo overlooked the Superstition Mountains. Nice. So is that near Flagstaff area? Goldie says, I've met a lot of lovely people who came to my town and we became friends. Nice. Eric says that's cool. And Medic says I still have my membership to Embassy Suites, Phoenix. So how long ago was this? Working probably especially as a medic on a Native American. Um, was probably pretty traumatic in a lot of ways. Phoenix is just outside of Phoenix. 2000. So 24 years ago. That's pretty area. Not quite the elevation. If you start driving north, you get into the high desert area, Sedona. Then you enter the mountains proper. Amazing thing about Arizona and states in that area. You could have a place in Prescott, Arizona, and wake up, if you're retired, wake up and go for a swim, play. This could be in January. Wake up, go for a swim, play 9 holes of golf, get in the car, and drive north for a couple hours. And you can drive pretty fast in Arizona, and then spend late afternoon skiing in Flagstaff or that area, and then drive home and relax with another swim. Goldie says that still keep in touch via Facebook. Nice. Medic says he used to have breakfast at Denny's with 2 Native Americans. I gave myself a Native American name, Running Scared. Overall, Running Scared, not a bad name. Could be worse. Could be Running Naked and Scared. Um, Medic says I did Flagstaff, Scottsdale, Sedona, saw the Painted Desert, Grand Canyon. Love the Painted Desert. Mocha and I drove through there. We actually honeymooned in Sedona. Sedona's a powerful place. Hey, did you go to any of the vortexes, and did you feel the energy in the vortexes? If our friend Squirrel Sniper is still here, I'd be curious his take on vortexes. Hey, Mocha says running with scissors. There you go. That would be a more modern Native American name. Mocha, what was... Oh, Jerome. Medic, did you go to Jerome? And did you drive up Jerome? I'm going to admit, I can't make anything up here with Mocha being here. I did not have the nerve to take that drive. Mocha did. That was impressive. Eric Point says, if everyone won the lottery, it would be cool for everyone to fly to the same place and do a live. That would be cool. But the one problem with this plan is I don't play the lottery. That is the fly in the ointment. We're going to have to find a way around that. Medic says that an amazing experience. Definitely something about the energy there. Joe Delaney is here. Hello, happy Sunday, and respect everyone in the chat. Joe, how are you? Hey, Milka, check out Joe Delaney's channel for some serious inspiration. You will be impressed. For that matter, everyone would be impressed. You can't visit the channel and come away without thinking the serious amount of hard work and commitment and desire for change. Goldie says hi to Joe Delaney. Eric Lapointe says, Medic, you are more traveled in the U.S. than me. Another thing I have to admit, I could not get too close to the edge of the Grand Canyon. I looked from a safe distance and I said, this is pretty cool. I had the same reaction to the Niagara Falls. It's just too powerful. You literally feel like the energy might suck you in. You'll disappear. Medic says visited most of the Indian reservations. Revisited the Hopi and the Navajo. Mocha said that she had the nerve for my sake, but regretted it almost immediately. It is a road that leads straight up. It's a single lane road, but two people are coming, but it's meant for both directions. That's what I'm looking for. And you can peer right over the side. There's no guard rails at all. And you peer right over the side, and it just keeps getting higher and higher and higher. Joe says, good. Hope everyone is having a great day. It seems like we are, Joe. Thanks. And I'm glad you are as well. Goldie says to Eric Lapointe that Medic is way more traveled in Romania than she is. Hey, Medic, what brought you to Romania? Just vacationing? Or did you go for business or both? Medic says, well, I can add California, Newport Beach, and Florida to that as well. I've been to Florida. It's been a while. I think most recently was around 2004. I lived there for a few months as a kid. My father was finishing off his master's degree in either geography or geology. He had one in both. Goldie drops Joe Delaney's link. Thank you, Goldie. Joe Delaney says, thank you, Mr. McCarty. I appreciate that. You're welcome. And I have to celebrate that kind of effort and the inspiration that sparked it. Lots of people are, they get that initial spark. I'm going to make some big changes. I'm going to lose some weight. I'm going to do this and do that. But for whatever reason, the energy isn't lasting, sadly. Because we're all capable of those great changes. And Joe Delaney is a wonderful example of what can be done and why to do it, which is important. I think sometimes it's all based on your why. If you haven't accomplished it, it's because you haven't a big enough why yet. So keep looking. Use a form of self-inquiry where you're asking, why do I want to make this change? Why is this important to me? And why don't I make the change? Which might be just as important. Why do I keep my health at risk? Why do I do things that are harmful for myself? And then you don't need to have an answer. Just keep exploring and exploring and see what happens. Medic says, I've been fortunate to travel most of the world. Wow. Mocha has done a bit of traveling as well due to being in the military. Not all of it to her choosing or um, her wishes. But, hey, she served her country. Joe Delaney says this, I couldn't get too close to the edge of the Grand Canyon either. Yeah, it's powerful. It's not that, it's not that we don't appreciate it. It's just overwhelming. Medic says, well, the big hole in the Grand Canyon where they start the Donkey Trail, I navigated the second ledge and sat on it for a photo. Wow. That's fearless. When I was ultra running, I thought about doing a run the Grand Canyon where you do out and back. Either out and back or out and then on the other side. There's two ways of doing it. I forget. Milka says, we both looked over the cliff at Grand Canyon, both stepped back and said, whoa, at the same time. Yep. Medic says, or Eric Lapointe says, well, Medic, no one ever says their deathbed. I wish I didn't travel the world. Milka says, I'm not having the best day. I'm sorry. I know you're not. I know you don't want to be there. Man, having to spend an extra day someplace is never fun. Joe says, to Mocha, I understand the well. Yeah. Eric Points gives a thumbs up to Newport Beach. Medic says, vacation, traveled across Europe, Hungary, Romania, Croatia. I know I'm saying that wrong. Hungary is part of my ancestral lands. Hey, Medic, what's your favorite place in the UK? Joe says, thank you, Goldie. Medic says, I've lived a full life at Aircal. Scuba diving, skydiving, fly lessons. Wow. It's funny because that could read as my list of things I wouldn't do. Except for scuba diving. Skydiving, big nope. Flying lessons, another big nope. I know how I drive a car. And there's no way I would. Of course, there's less things to hit. But it only takes, hitting something once. Joe says, yes, I believe that too. I have to refocus on my why when I get distracted. Yeah, the why is all important. And, again, I think that's the big thing where people don't fulfill. I never want to say people fail because it's not over. There isn't a failure. I like how Richard Bach said, I forget which book, that in the end, everything will turn out right. And if it's not all right, then it's not the end. Medic says plus military service, so not too much on my bucket list. Eric says, I thought I joined you, Joe, before, but I wasn't, but I am now. Great. Definitely go visit Joe. You'll be inspired. Medic says, I remember the signs warning me to stay on the path because of rattlesnakes. I asked the guide if the snakes observed the sign and stayed off the path. Unfortunately, and it's not the snake's fault, I blame it on the educational system of the U.S. There's simply not enough snakes that are taught how to read signs. We really should fix that. Medic says, where I live is my favorite place. That's awesome. I could say pretty much the same with me. I love where I live. Doesn't mean I wouldn't mind visiting other places, but I do love where I live. I have thought of other places, but it's a beautiful area. And it was founded on some really fantastic principles. Whether or not they always meet those principles is debatable, but the fact that that was the intent. And that's as people who moved here for that and are still here and would love to see it happen. Goldie says that's why you live there, right, Medic? That's a good point. Medic says, if your parachute fails, you take it back to the complaint department. I'd be willing to bet that the line is very short. Medic says, it's not the fall that kills you, it's the sudden stop at the bottom. I don't know. I honestly think my heart would give out before I ever hit the bottom. And that's even if my parachute was working. We get some laughing faces, laughing emojis from Goldie and Eric. I thought I wouldn't mind doing like a tandem jump. And then I thought, because you're strapped to someone. And I thought, what if my tandem partner woke up and got a Dear Joe letter, or is having a really bad day? So I quickly dismissed that idea. Mocha, what time is your flight back tomorrow? So I'm hoping everyone here is already subscribed to UK Medic. All the stuff that he's talking about, a lot of the stuff that he's talking about, you can actually see. You can see some great diving videos, wonderful nature videos, air shows. It's really like Medic's channel was most definitely a reflection on his life. Goldie says, so we start a charity, and Eric McCarty, to teach snakes how to read. It will improve your educational system. I would consider that, but then, the snakes get that higher education and they start feeling so self-important, and all the other reptiles are feeling left out. Then you got to teach the lizards, the toads. I think I'd start with the toads. Honestly, I'm more partial to toads than I am snakes. I have had some experiences with rattlesnakes while ultra running. Yeah, Mocha says like 1 p.m. Well, at least you don't have to wake up super early and you won't be back really late. My cat is here. Eric Point says, I would love to jump out of a perfectly running aircraft one day. You're a braver man than I am. I've zip lined. Uh, I've rock climbed quite a bit in my past. I've been caving. Actually, spent 2 nights in a cave. I did a outward bound trip in the late mid 80s. Our friend Destiny is here. Destiny says, "Hello, Eric. How are you? Blessings and love to you and to everyone in the chat." Thank you, Destiny, and blessings and love to you. We're having a nice conversation. Life, travel, teaching snakes how to read. And jumping out of airplanes, which is something that I'm not going to do. I don't want to say ever. Who knows? Goldie says, I'm not a fan of snakes walking or slithering. I haven't seen any this year. Normally, well, I'll see quite a few. Hopefully, I'll get one on film soon. Duncan Walsh says, any room in this party for one more? Eric says, just one. Yeah, I think we can manage one more. So if Runnerboy is still here, we have 3 people from the UK, 3 people representing the UK. We had 1 person, our friend Reaper from Algeria. Duncan, how are you? Everyone's saying hi to Duncan. Duncan says, I always had problems teaching my snake to read. It's not that they're slow learners. I think they just get distracted easily. I mean, they're daydreaming, and they have some pretty important things to consider. You know, what would it be like if I had legs? What would life be like if I had arms? I could finally reach that jar of peanut butter that I've been wanting for such a long time. Always room for Duncan, says Goldie. This is true. Although, let me know if you see the beginning of Duncan typing and it says, hey Eric, have you ever considered? Because nothing good ever follows. Duncan says writing was easy. Goldie says, so what kind didn't you see this year, the walking or the slithering kind? Sadly, neither one. I definitely want to get a video of a walking snake. I think the snake, I've never seen one, the snake that would scare me the most would be a cobra. Because they are, you know, I see snakes here, even rattlesnakes, and we have quite a few copperheads that are poisonous here. Not deadly so, maybe for pets, animals, and dogs. But even they can survive if treated quickly. But I've seen videos of cobras, and they're surprisingly fast, not just in striking, but they can travel short distances about as fast as we can run. Duncan says everyone is looking ravishing tonight. I'm going to take that as a personal compliment. Medic says it was a guy that was depressed because he couldn't make his mortgage payment, so he drove to the edge of a cliff and sat there. People had a collection to raise money for him. So many kind people. Mind you, the passengers were on the bus at the time. Yep. That's when you find yourself suddenly very, very generous. Goldie says they always that's too much. Yes, they do. Duncan says, do you think your intervals with the 2 times 2 minutes were harder, the same, or easier? They were definitely harder. Especially with the nasal breathing, it put me in that air hunger almost immediately. And a minute, at least for the first, I needed more than a minute to recover. So when I got to that next minute for the intervals, I wasn't 100%. It took maybe 3 or 4 rounds before I started feeling like I was back on track. And then I had to get ready to finish in the same way. The 2 minutes was definitely harder. Goldie says, not always true, Eric. With the snakes, oh, the walking ones are easier to miss. This is true. They look way too much like humans. That's an excellent point. I had not considered that. Eric says the black mamba. I'm going to have to look that up. Medic says I went to the doctor on Friday and he said, Doctor, I feel like a pair of curtains. He said, don't be ridiculous and pull yourself together. And then he charged you for the visit. Duncan says with the 2 times 2 minutes, you have 1 minute less rest over the total time of the workout. 1 minute less rest and a harder recovery period as well. So that's sort of a double whammy. I'm gonna try it again, but with the 1 pumps next time. I don't know if that'll be easier or not. Goldie says, with Duncan saying, Eric, have you ever considered you have had some pleasant surprises too? Not too many. This is true. If anything, Duncan is full of surprises, and Duncan is in full agreement with Goldie. But I think the pleasant surprises are just to keep me off guard. So I relax. And it's like, oh, okay. Duncan's not all that bad. Duncan's a good guy. And as soon as I'm relaxed, bam, that's when he hits you. It's all part of the Duncan Walsh Fitness Motivation Master Plan. Hey, Duncan, truly as a master trainer, and I don't say that lightly at all, have you visited Joe Delaney's channel? I think you will very much appreciate it. Joe, have you met Duncan? One of the most aptly named channels, Duncan Walsh Fitness Motivation, because he certainly provides fitness and motivation. So I think you guys would enjoy following each other. Medic says, it's the UK Medic Comedy Hour. Which is always good. We need that laughter, that's for sure. But you know, like most of the old time comedy hours, we need some musical musical special guest, and it's not going to be me. You guys definitely don't want to hear me sing. Goldie says, no, you get the unpleasant ones to keep you on your toes. I like the way you reframe that. Just goes to show you there's always another perspective. And Goldie dropped Joe Delaney's link. Thank you. Duncan, definitely check it out. Eric Lapointe says, it's funny, Medic. I'll tell jokes sometimes on Noble's channel. So we've been deprived of Eric Lapointe's humor here, which isn't true. Joe says, no, may I please have his link dropped? Thank you for that, Goldie. Duncan says, mind you, Goldie, would you be so sure if I said, Goldie, have you ever considered? You see, another shift of perspective. That's the mystery of life. Perspective changes, and it seems the entire universe changes with it. Although, we were talking about this, Destiny and I, early, reality in and of itself stays the same. It's what, let's see. Philip K. Dick. If you guys are familiar with Philip K. Dick, the novelist, I know you've probably seen his movies, as he wrote Blade Runner, Man in the High Castle, and quite a few others that became movies. He was a very influential writer for me because reading him as a kid, he shaped my outlook on how the universe, the mystery of the universe, and not to always take things as they are, look deeper. Duncan says, sorry, Eric, whose channel did you say? Joe Delaney, and she's just a few links up above. Goldie dropped the link. Goldie says, nope, Duncan, you're always a surprise, good or bad. This is true. Mocha says he can sing. That's because Mocha is very kind. Well, it's true that I can sing. Does anyone want to listen to me? We had a home karaoke machine for a while, and I did practice, and I did get better, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I did it well. It is fun. Even if you don't think you can sing well, I highly recommend singing. It's good for the soul. Joe says, I subbed up to Duncan. Awesome. Always some good workouts. Definitely a lot of motivation. Medic says, I told a patient I have good and bad news. He said, what's the good news? I said, you have 48 hours to live. He said, oh my God, that's bad news. I said, you have told me yesterday. That would have been helpful. Eric Point says, Nobles Duncan. Let's see. Hey, I'm almost all caught up. Duncan says, Yo, I have looked at your channel, but I just see a muscular guy. I presume that isn't you. It is not. Let's see. And Joe says, No, not a muscular guy. Goldie says, What are your favorite songs to sing, Eric? Um, I think my voice lends itself. Milka always says crooner. Um, and I do like to sing those type of songs. Uh, Unexpected ones. Bobby Vinton. Um, I do like singing the Beatles as well. But really the softer type of stuff. I'm definitely not a shouter. You're not going to hear me do a Roger Daltrey and offer a scream. Milka says, You know I'm not too kind about singing. Yeah, but you're kind to me. Eric Lapointe says, What did the dyslexic Cal say to the yoga class? You would think a lifetime of yoga and a love of cows that I would have heard that joke before, but I never did. Goldie says, You, Milka, you're always kind, sometimes towards Eric McCarty, sometimes towards the audience. She is always kind, but she's not afraid of using that kindness to help people. And if that means, maybe like she would critique me kindly, if need be. I think that's the difference. Medic said a guy had a leg amputated, and the doctor told the guy, I have some bad news. We've amputated the wrong leg. The good news is the guy on the next bed wants to buy your slippers. Just goes to show you, that life takes something from you and life gives something back. I'm not saying it's always a fair trade. Duncan says, if we're talking jokes, would you like to hear one my 8-year-old says? Yes. Sometimes those are the funniest. Knock, knock. And of course, collectively, we're all saying who's there. Thank you, Medic. And Eric. My poo. Thank you, guys. You just said it, sorry. I didn't say it was a 8-year-old. My poo. My poo. You did say it was an 8-year-old. But you know what? Let's all be serious here. When are poop jokes not funny? You don't you don't have to be 8 years old to appreciate a good poop joke. I think Milka will back me up on that comment. Hey, this occurred to me earlier, Duncan. Um, Duncan says, apologies, Eric. I fell for it also. It seems 8-year-olds are much more clever than we are. Um, the other day, Duncan, when I was on your channel watching your latest 6 count, um, it occurred to me it would be great if you had any videos of you playing squash in your competitive days and even now when you play. For those who don't know, Duncan Walsh was a professional athlete. He was a champion squash player. Didn't become a champion until, how old were you? You were in your 40s, right? Goldie says, okay, since we're talking kids, we were in the bus passing the maternity hospital where my daughter was born. And my daughter asked, Mom, uh, what was I wearing when I was born? Her birthday suit. Duncan says, yes, unfortunately, it was a little before such easy access to video. I thought maybe someone might have, like, VHS camcorder type stuff. So how did you answer that question, Goldie? Duncan says squash was covered on TV, but only the later stages of major events. How often do you play now? Because I see you work out on the squash court, so I assume you still show up and you play and you coach some athletes, right? Goldie says another pearl out of my daughter's mouth back when she was 3. Great questions from 3-year-olds. It makes you stop and think about things. Medic said I had a guy in isolation with contagious disease. The doctor put him on a diet, flatbread, pizza, and toast. The guy said, will it help? The doctor said, no. That's the only food that fits under the door. He had probably not considered that. Duncan says squash just now has become an Olympic sport. Well, this will rocket the sport's profile. Yes, I coach a little, not much. Play 2 or 3 times a week. Goldie says, setting the stage, Romania is a majority of Caucasian people. So we were again on the bus and she saw her very first African person. Goldie, let's see. Duncan says, well, let me go right to Goldie. Goldie says, my daughter with a hugely shocked voice says, Mom, why is that man so colored? Duncan says, Eric, you are participating in International Burpee Day, the 8th of June. I'm not officially signed up yet. I'd have to make some arrangements or maybe train outside. And if I trained outside, I'm not sure if I could film it. So I'm not sure if it's going to be a fit for me, but I'll definitely be watching everyone. We get a smiling face from Eric Lapointe. So what was the answer to that, Goldie? See, kids are so innocent in their questions. Jesse says, I will see you later at Eric M. and chat. Much love. Good night. Good night, Destiny. I appreciate you coming by, spending some time with us. Always appreciated. We'll be calling it a night soon, I think. Duncan says night to Destiny, and Joe says good night as well. Duncan says, how's the watch time? Thank you for asking, Duncan. I've been talking a bit about that. And hey, is Mocha, are you still here? Because I haven't told you yet either, that as of this morning, I hit the 3,000 mark, 3,039, which puts me at the first level. And I hit the apply button. Fortunately, I already have Google AdSense, so it's just a matter of waiting. And then I'm working on that last 1,000. So I appreciate you asking, and I appreciate you guys stopping by and helping those watch hours go up. Goldie says, so put my hand close to hers and highlighted that we have small color differences in our skin, and asked to look around her to see people riding the bus with us. That's a great teaching moment. And I get some clapping from Joe Delaney. Duncan says, so it's 3,000 hours, not 4,000. It's both. 3,000 gets you that first level where you can do like the super chats and some other stuff. And then 4,000 is when you're fully monetized. So I'm going to aspire to hit that 4,000 mark by the first day of summer. So just about a month. Joe says, awesome. Thank you, Joe. Mocha says, still here. I told Mocha that I'd hope to do it by Monday. I'm a day early. And there's still 5 days in the, it's updated as of May 14th. So there's still 5 days that haven't been counted. So it might be like 900 or maybe even 8 something that I need. Goldie says, sort of that the color of his skin, just like ours, are different. It's a great teaching moment. Especially, you know, as mentioned, the kids ask those questions so sweetly and so innocently. And what an important time to introduce that through the differences, we're the same. Medic says, yes, watch hours are real hard slog. I'm still 248 away from 4K watch hours. When was last time it was updated for you? I've had you on quite a bit. Mocha says, awesome. Thank you, Mocha. Goldie says, well done to Medic. Medic says, not great, Goldie. It's been like that for 4 weeks, even with people watching my stuff. Man, we're going to have to break through. Goldie says, I'm sorry, Medic. Medic says, I may just go to YouTube and go over to Rumble. Someone else mentioned Rumble to me. I forget who that was. Salina says, maybe someday you will get the gold plaque and be the Kenneth Copeland of yoga. I don't know who Kenneth Copeland is. I could look it up. That certainly sounds like something that I should aspire to. Oh, TV evangelist. I think we talked about him before. Do you get a gold plaque for that? It seems to me that if I had a gold plaque and I became the Kenneth Copeland of yoga, that someone would come along and take that gold plaque away from me. So I got my hopes up. I thought I could aspire to be the Kenneth Copeland of yoga, and now I realize that I can. Medic says, YouTube take away more than you gain. Why is that? Joe Delaney says, may I please get a UK Medics link? Thank you, Goldie. So we'll have some more people pitching in. We can get you over that. I will up my watch time. I had Medic up quite a bit through the day, as well as Ivy, and I had Dagmar up for a bit. I need to get Runner Boy some watch hours and Yankee Kyle some watch hours. And hey, if anybody here is monetizing and they need some watch hours, put it out there. I'm certainly willing to help. Gordy says, you're welcome, lovely Joe Delaney. Medic says, I dare not say what I think of YouTube. Yeah, I hear people offer some different views. Medic says, today, subscriber not working, notifications a day late, and can't upload short videos. I notice, and Elise pointed out to me, some of my playlists have disappeared. They come back, but for a day they'll be gone. Eric Point says that I joined up. Salina? Awesome. Salina has had me singing In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, a version of it, for the first time in, 30 years. Goldie says 420 network. I'm on it. I will add that to the list, and I'll be getting some watch hours there tomorrow. Duncan says, sub to Joe Delaney. Awesome. Joe says, thank you, Duncan. I'm looking forward to reviewing your workouts. Hey, Joe, be forewarned. Someday in the future, during a really nice and pleasant live stream conversation, Duncan's going to very innocently say, hey, Joe, have you ever considered? And then you know you're in trouble. One, yeah, you know you're in trouble. I'm not going to add anything to it. But for me, that would be beneficial because it means the attention is taken off of me. The funny thing is seeing Duncan, and it is what it is, trade challenges, because both of them are fearless in what they'll do. You can't throw a workout at them, and neither one of them will back away from a challenge. That's for sure. And Goldie drops Solana's link. Thank you, Goldie. And a thank you to our friend Solana just for being here. So, yeah, I should shut things down. It is right at my bedtime, actually. I'm going to do my evening breath work. I meant to talk about that in my earlier session. Duncan says, I'm only suggesting things that you would probably like to do anyway. Probably. This is true. If I really, really, truly didn't want to do it, I would be faking technical difficulties. I'd be like, oh man, all of a sudden, out of all the conversations here, only Duncan is fading away. I can't make out what you're writing, Duncan. Goldie says mine too. Medic says, I will wish you all good night. Medic, appreciate you being here. Appreciate the humor and just getting a good laugh. Always enjoy that, and it's much needed in these times. So thank you. And man, maybe this week we can have a UK medic breakthrough on the watch hours. Joe says that's funny. Yeah, I'm learning how to squint my eyes and pretend like I can't read Duncan's stuff. I could blame it on his handwriting. Joe says, yes, medic, great laughs. Have a great evening. Thank all of you guys. Can't think of a better way to spend my evening or with better people. So thank you each. Medic, Joe, Goldie. Thank you so much, Goldie, for dropping all those links. Very much appreciated. Duncan and Eric Lapointe, thank you. Salina, always appreciate you being here. And Mocha as well. And we had Destiny here. It is what it is was here for a bit. Our friend Laradox was here very, very briefly. As was Runner Boy. So it was a great group of people. Thanks again, guys. I'll see everyone tomorrow.